Hey Jerry, thanks, appreciate it. Wish I had more time today to actually prep it for the stream, but sadly I didn't. Right now I'm just trying to fix up any uneven areas, little holes. Yeah, this is just the basic gray stuff. I like it for filling in scratches, and whenever I have Aves on top of polystone, it sort of helps me even it out because you can see. Let's see. Oh, let me see if I get in the camera correctly. It's kind of hard to see, but this area here, with all I put that Aves, it's not completely even, and if you over sand it, you lose your detail. So I just use the putty to sort of fill that area in, and then I can use my 3M pad kind of sand it down, because the Tamiya putty sands really fast. But it doesn't go over super thick. Like if you wanted to fill this area in with the putty, you need to like do like 5 layers. It's good for scratches though. Just kind of going over the piece, and I was gonna do that this morning, but other things came up, so. Got a lot of cleaning to do on this. Figure what I'll do today is I'll kind of finish off the shirt up here around her neck. And then I don't have much else really, except the Hyperion, a little bit of that. Busy week. Hey Hangerbird, yeah, I am filling in scratches, little holes, anything that's not even, because you figure this was sculpted with Magic Sculpt, and then all these wrinkles I did with Aves, so they're kind of like, it's kind of like not even against each other, so I use the putty to sort of fill in those little gaps, and then you sand it down and it smooths it out. There's probably better putties than what I use for like deeper scratches, but I love this stuff because it dries fast. It fills in a lot of scratches and little tiny holes. but it won't fill in huge gaps though. These like huge seams in here. Oh, thanks, Raspberry. Yeah, it's I like the way these wrinkles came out. This came out pretty decent. I just got to work on the cuffs too. Those are going to be the harder ones. I did, when I was in the garage this Tuesday or Wednesday, I forgot what day it was, I was chopping up some items. So I did chop up her head a bit more, so it's not as big and bulky. I sort of chopped out the ears. I'm not really sure yet if her ears are going to show. That's what I have to figure out once I start working on the hair. I'm bad with ears. But at least I got a lot more shape going, because before it was like for the helmet, so I got all that taken down. Two, three, four, I do a few things. Sometimes people ask me to convert their items to other characters. Sometimes I find cheap items or broken items to convert. And sometimes if I just really want to make a character, I find the statue that'll work, like this Batgirl. She was pretty much brand new, but I got her at a deal, and I used it for Daphne. So it's a matter of, you know, like back when I was really doing this earlier, 2014, I used to find damaged stuff on eBay like candy. I was buying damaged pieces like it was no tomorrow. And then I guess a lot of people started doing this more and more, and it all dried up. Hey, what's up, JC? So now, every once in a while, I'll get somebody contact me to see if I want to buy a broken item, but they want to charge me retail or what it's worth on eBay. And I say, well, just because I'm going to redo it, I still got to put work into it. So I can't really pay. There's no sense of paying for like a smashed up item for $450 when a new one is going for $420 on eBay, you know? I know it might sound nuts taking a $500 item and converting it, but you know, there's what, 3,000 of these produced? It's not the end of the world. Hey Chris, how's it going? I think Roxy was around 300 made. The other thing too is sometimes these items, when after they come out, they're less than retail on eBay, and that's kind of the time to buy them. But sometimes these items will skyrocket in price, and then it's like, well, it's all a catch-22. Sometimes you gotta just find an item and keep an eye on eBay. Sometimes they're the $600, and then all of a sudden eBay gets flooded, and then they're like $400. Sometimes people are just trying to blow out a collection. It's like, you know, it's like anything, just play the wait game. Well, that's awesome, Chris. I'm looking forward to getting her. Then once I get those, you gotta send me those pictures. I get a video up. Hey, Scott. I mean, there's a lot of statues out there I want to get and convert into characters, but they're so expensive now. It's hard. So as of the way things turned out these days, I find it's better to sometimes just order it and get it at its base price, or wait for it on eBay if it's, you know, you get a little bit of a deal. But lately everything has been just like crazy amounts of money. And then sometimes people already have it in their collections and they don't want the character anymore, but they want to convert it to something else. Once in a blue moon I'll do a trade with somebody if it's something I really want. But at this point I gotta set up a Patreon post for some items I got to convert into characters. So, and I'm waiting for some anime kits to come in, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, JC, I actually sent an email to Andy the other day, except I didn't get a chance to reply to his because I had a busy week with family stuff, so not a good week to get anything done. Chris, I saw that Vampirella you did on Instagram. That thing came out amazing. I really liked that one a lot. The colors, the pose, that was awesome. Alright, I'm gonna go roll this out real quick, and then we're gonna work out the top of her shirt some. A lot of the superhero kits that I paint up for people, they're all in those Facebook groups. So I couldn't even begin to tell you how to get into those. But if you want anime kits, you know, like JC said, the E2046 site. If you hop on Clubhouse and you find their Facebook groups, you can find a lot of the monster type stuff. Garage Kits, that sells the paints, they have a couple kits too. It depends on what you're looking for, that's the issue. If you know what you're looking for, you gotta find those groups for those items. Yeah, I think the E2046 site, from what I've heard, they do it in batches, I guess. So instead of you paying like crazy amounts of shipping on each item. I think everybody bought more stuff over COVID. I think people were just home bored, probably making more money without having to travel all the time, working from home. I know a lot of people built offices since they're working from home forever now. Yeah, I've never really worked with the clays much. Not really my thing. But I think once you get used to it, it should work. Hangerbird, I pretty much like chop stuff up. I kind of customize stuff, so this is just like a regular Batgirl statue you could buy from Sideshow Collectibles and stuff. So it all depends on who you find and what they're doing. I use A's for hair all the time. A's Fix-It Sculpt. That's what I sculpt all my hair with. Yeah, Scott, Magic Sculpt is like... honestly, I think Magic Sculpt has a very short lifespan in terms of a year. Because I have a thing of Magic Sculpt I got probably around Christmas time, and it's already starting to toughen up on me. So two, three, four, not really. I mean, working for one of the big companies is like, you know, if that's like your goal in life and what you want to do. I find it way more fun and less stress doing what I do with this stuff. When you work for a company like that, you're not really working for the company, you're working for the suits at Marvel or DC. So they dictate what you want. What I do here is like what a lot of 2D artists do, where they just, you know, they just sit there and they draw pictures of their favorite characters, they get support from their fans, and they make a living that way. It's a different world now. You don't really need to work for a company per se. You know, I've heard of such horror stories where these guys make these most amazing sculpts, and then when they send it to Disney or Marvel or DC, they're like, nope, that's not our character, change the whole thing. So, I don't know. Epoxy sculpt is it, Jesse? I mean, JC. Epoxy sculpt is the stuff. Hey Jaden, thank you, I appreciate it. See epoxy sculpt? This is what I use for this stuff, but when I sculpt hair I use Fix-It Sculpt. I order everything from the stores directly, like Aves I order directly from Aves, because it's usually fresher, I guess, I don't know. As far as Magic Sculpt goes, I order directly from the Complete Sculptor. But whatever you guys do, make sure you put your Aves or Magic Sculpt in the refrigerator. You're not going to use it for a while, otherwise you're just going to let it just go to waste on you. Yeah, Fix-It's a little bit more sturdy. It's not as soft right away when you mix it. And then I find once it starts to harden up, it feels like it's a little bit better to get detail with it. Sometimes I'll mix a little bit of the red Aves with the Fix-It just to give it like a pink hue, just for the hell of it. If you're not using Aves like me, I use it every day, so I don't really put it in the refrigerator unless I buy new and I let it sit there. But if you're going to use it like once a week, once every 2 weeks, just keep it in the refrigerator. It just keeps it fresher longer. Jaden, that's the one thing I've always had an issue with. I don't have a timetable with my projects because I work on so many at once. So I don't like base anything on time really. Because you know, this item I'm working on, this item, and then this dries, I go to my next item and I work on that item, and then I work on this item. Because you can't do all just this item in 1 week. You'd just be sitting around twiddling your thumbs waiting for stuff to cure. So that's why I tell people, if you're going to build a kit and you're going to do anything with it, maybe get 2 or 3, because you can like do some Aves work on an arm tonight, and then you can do some Aves work on a hair on another item, and let those items dry. Yeah, Scott, you can sculpt the whole item with that Aves. You want to build an armature with Aves, let it cure up one night, and then the next day build up some muscles, and then after that maybe build up some skin. And the good thing about Aves though is after you're done sculpting it, you don't need to bake it. It's done. You can start painting it and do whatever you want with it. Whereas if you use Sculpey, that stuff deteriorates over time. So they're not really good for finished projects. Yeah, no problem, Jaden. It's just, I've learned that if I wanted to make this a business, which I turned it into, you can't just work on one item every day. It's better to have a couple going at once with my workflow. Yep, this is the Sideshow Batgirl. Premium format. She came out, what, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. I got a lot. I kind of sort of caught up on a few, but I'm ready to take out the next batch soon. Like on my shelf right now, I got 2 items I'm waiting for feedback on. I'm getting ready to start painting up that flash kit that I posted on my YouTube channel. I got Daphne, Velma, what is it, the Black Cat, 2 Bowens, and then I got probably 8 kits I gotta paint up for people, and then I think about 10 customs. But that's all stuff from last year that's been delayed because of the lockdown. Hey, what's up, Golden? Yeah, actually, Aves Studio had a sale last month. I think it was 15% off. So what I did is I bought some extra Aves and solvent, because I figure with this whole, like, everything's so delayed and people aren't getting supplies to build houses, I figured let me just get a little extra and sit on it. So I just put it in the refrigerator. I don't want to be working on stuff and then all of a sudden I don't have any supplies. And the only downside about the refrigerator is it's a little tough when you first pull it out, but after you get it warm, it'll soften up. I've said it in my other streams too. If you have Aves and your green container is yellowing, this side, if that part starts to yellow on you, it's going bad. See, this is nice and soft and fresh, but if you start to get really nasty yellowing and crystallizing, it's bad. The bottom part is probably still good, but the top part is drying out on you. Yeah, I got a lot of projects. Got to keep busy. And then there's also a ton that are my personal projects I haven't gotten to yet. So it sounds like I'm getting a storm here now, so if I get cut off, you know why. And usually when I get cut off, that means I'm without power for a few hours or a day. I hope not. I got a lot of stuff to do. Usually when we get some crazy storms, I just lose power here because I'm by the water, so. Yeah, if you're seeing some yellowing, it's not a good sign. I'm South Jersey, closer to Atlantic City. So, just muggy as all hell today, and it sounds like it's storming. But nothing serious yet. Alright, well, I was North Jersey today, but it was nice. Well, it wasn't really nice today, but just muggy as hell in Jersey. Yeah, you say that now, JC, but watch it get worse down here. You probably jinxed me. Hangerbird, the reason why I get red Aves is because I can see what I'm doing on top of the gray primer. That's the only reason why I get a color. It's not that anything is better than the other. It's just because when I first started buying up Aves regularly, they always had red in the super sale section. And it was only $25 for a 4-pound thing, and I was like, that's a hell of a deal. So I bought up with the red, and I got so used to it, I just stick with red. It doesn't sound like it's passing by me, it sounds like it's storming out there. Well, light's flickering. That's a sign. We'll make sure some of the appliances or anything's turned off. Well, it's the camera's microphone, so, but then again, I'm in the studio with a flat roof on top, so everything's hitting it. Oh, hey Terrell, thanks. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think she's coming along pretty well. A few more tweaks. I think really got to tweak out those hands first, and then I can worry about the collar and the hair. I just looked outside. It's like a monsoon out there right now. Usually what happens, my internet goes first and then I lose power. Cable lines here suck. Yeah, I guess you're gonna get it, because it seems like this stuff is moving in pretty deep. Oh, well, Raspberries, I try to do every Fridays to stream. Just a little bit late today. But like I said, I'm gonna try to do a late night stream soon, painting up the Flash kit on Picarto. So if you're not signed up on Picarto, I got it in the description. It's weird too, I went for a bike ride before I did the stream just down to the bay real quick, and it was like, there was no clouds anywhere. And now, you guys can probably hear it like crazy right now. Terrell, my phone's charged, but I'm the type of person that when I lose power, I'll just sit down and read comic books and just relax. Even if it's hot or cold, just wait it out, don't panic. And then when the power comes back on, just do what I gotta do. I do have a switch that I did put in my electrical box for a generator, and I just haven't gotten a generator yet. I'll probably regret not getting it, but one thing at a time. Yeah, you could try it, Hanger. Like I tell everybody, just go on eBay, grab yourself a cheap DC bust or Bowen bust, and experiment. Yeah, I got a bunch of old trades I'll reread over time, and then sometimes if I really want to, I got maybe 1 or 2 movies on my iPad and my laptop, and basically they're like Hangover, so I'll just watch The Hangover in the dark. But once I get that generator, things will probably be a little bit better, especially if I have power outage for like a couple days. That's good enough for the shirt, because once we put on the scarf, just come together. Yeah, no matter where you live, you're going to get something. You live on the west, you get tornadoes, you get earthquakes. You live over on the east coast, you get hurricanes. It's wherever you go, it's something. Yeah, Hanger, I'm gonna get one. The idea is if my parents get into this retirement place, they're waiting for their name to be called, I'll just take their generator. But if it takes too long, I'll just get my own. But we'll see. Sugar, I use putty. When you say micro divots, are you talking about pinhole size, or are you talking like, bigger than pinhole? I use this for pinholes. To my gray putty. I was using it earlier on the stream on her. She's, like I said, it's going to be a short stream tonight because I didn't get a lot done this week, but I'm going to pop out Superman and I can show you a little bit more. So let's see if we can find some pinholes. I think he had a couple on him. Where were they? Alright, he's got some on his booty. Alright, try and get as close as I possibly can. Alright, so you see those pinholes on his booty? Basically, all I ever do for pinholes, there's two ways of doing it. If you spray it with primer, filler primer, if you fill, like this is a large item, so filler primer works out pretty well. And if you do filler primer and you dry sand it, a lot of that primer dust goes into the holes. And then if you prime it again, it fills it in. That's kind of what the filler primer does. But if you have the Tamiya putty, right, and you have one of these little spackle things you use for sculpting, these things, you know, I've had this since I was in art school in 1995, and then you just take it and kind of like spackle the area and fill in the hole. Now the problem is sometimes it creates a little air bubble, so you gotta use a little tiny point at the edge of it and sort of like kind of shove it in the area if you can. And then this stuff dries fairly fast, and you could kind of do a little light sanding on it and it'll fill it in. What's up, Adam? Nothing I can do. But thanks for the 5, man. I appreciate it. You're a nut. Don't worry though, Adam, I won't be making a video of me swaying. But yeah, so that's kind of how you can fill up pinholes. It dries fairly fast. I mean, you can use your finger and you can rub it across. It kind of sticks to your finger a little bit, but Adam, you're a nut. You got issues. I've never used the liquid model masking stuff. Whenever I do stuff, I like to make sure everything is secured. So I like to use filler primer, the putty, Aves, because I don't like to test things I'm going to work on, because I've done stuff with, I use some, back in the day, I must have got some weird putty stuff, and I puttied an area and it was great, but when I sanded it down and then I started painting it, it came off the item. So I kind of find what works for me and I stick with it. So that's kind of how I fill up putty stuff. And anything that's a big hole, like there was the hole holding up the Superman's hair, I put A's on there. Now it's still down a little bit, it's kind of sunk. So I just kind of threw A's on there, so I'll just throw a little bit more. And then I'll sand that down and even it out. Yeah, Adam, that video sent me was deep. Deep video. Yeah, I'll explain that right now, Terrell. So, after I stripped down Superman, what happened was I wanted to put a rod up here because he has a habit of leaking. And what I did is I started dremeling up his ankle, but because I dremeled out the cuff around his boot, his foot fell off, which actually made it easier because I was able to drill this way and this way. So I was actually able to drill up here too. So right now, there's a square metal rod that comes up to about here. But what I had to do is I had to have the rod come this way, and then I bent it a little bit so it bends straight out of the foot. So this rod comes here, and then it angles up this way. So now, once I sand this down and then I rebuild the boot, because Hyperion's boot is around straight, this ankle is going to be secured. Because when I was drummeling into this ankle got so hot, actually this resin worked a bit. And this tells me that this resin isn't like really polystone as much as more just resin. So what I did with this ankle is I drummeled up here, but I'm just going to put a rod that goes here to secure this ankle. So this rod, what we're going to do now is I'm just going to fill that in, and I'll have a nice secured rod up here. So this way, I don't have to worry about him leaning, because I've been seeing a lot more pictures of people posting leaning Superman. Yeah, Adam, I was kind of in tears with that video. It's definitely one to behold. Yeah, these are known to warp because these ankles don't. I think this resin here is different than this resin, because you can see this is white resin. It's softer compared to this, so I think that might be the issue. Hold on a second. So basically, it's a steel rod that's in his ankle right now. So the ankle goes there, and then it's just bent a little bit here. So what you have to do is you have to kind of cut it where you want it, and then put it in a vice grip and bend, and keep putting it into the item. See how that's at an angle? So you got to put it in a vice grip and sort of bend it. So this way, when you put this in, this piece is bent straight. So this way, if you want to make this key to hold it up, it's a little bit better. But I'm not really worried about this going all the way up here. I'm just worried about this ankle being secured. So this is a piece of steel, and I'll just put this in there. So it's really easy to secure an item if you're building it, but if you're building an item that has cloth, so like imagine this has cloth, and you drummel into here and you come at the wrong angle, and you drill through that ankle, you kind of have to deal with that. And then if you really have a long drill and you drill through here, but if you drill through here and hit the cloth, that's a world of hurt. So that's why I do not like to work on cloth items. Because if you ruin that cloth, it's a done deal. Plus, you're drilling, you're handling it with your hands. If he twists, you kind of stretch the fabric. So I tend not to repair anything with cloth if I, it's just too much of a hassle. So since I got a little extra A's, we'll kind of secure this one with some of this this rod. It's kind of like the thing I do in the beginning of every custom. If I'm stripping it down, I try to secure everything first. Even with kits, even garage kits, even though they have a nice thick key at the bottom of their foot, if the kit is so top heavy and the ankle's the only thing holding it, you still got to secure it. For the flash kit that I'll be doing on Picardo, I did the same thing. They had the key here in the front of his foot, but they didn't have a rod going up the ankle. Actually, you know what, I could pop it out and show you guys right now. So this is the flash foot. Let's see, get back a little further. So the key was here with a little rod, and honestly, even though he's kind of set up nicely where he stands on the base with both feet, I felt that I would just be worried over the long term because these pieces are attached. They weren't actually casted together. So what I did is I decided to put a rod all the way up here. So I figured we got a nice thick rod here, it'll hold this leg up much better. Because even though I put this together with some epoxy and some AVES, I still kind of concerned about it. So even though this key would have held it, I still wanted to secure it in the long run. I go above and beyond because, you know, this is regular resin, so who knows if someone has it sitting in a hot summer day or it's hitting the sun and all of a sudden he starts warping over. I don't think I'm going to have magnets on Superman because he's going to be Hyperion one solid piece. I mean, let's see, do I have the picture of him? I think I have the picture. No, that's Star Brand. No. I took the picture off. I don't feel like finding it now. There we go. There's some nice storm thunder coming. Whenever I try to put a rod in there, I usually kind of Dremel out the tip of it if I can. Because if you have a point going in, it's like a nail. If you have a flat piece going in, sometimes it hits something and you can't get it in all the way. Something stupid, but it works. Yeah, Earth X Hyperion. Hey, what's up, Butterfly? Yep, nothing I could do. Yeah, I think it was last stream I was telling everybody I wish it would rain because of all the pollen. So now it's raining out the ass today and yesterday. Hope it doesn't rain all weekend. I gotta take a trip out Sunday to see someone, so... So you know you put enough AVES or Magiscope in there when you put this piece in, if it starts squeezing out the bottom, then you know you put enough in. Nothing sucks more than having a hollow hole and putting it in there and you didn't finish. Just kind of make sure you get it in there pretty well. And I have to make a new base for him too. That'll be a fun video. I mean, we'll do it on a live stream. Gonna just do simple rocks. Should work out pretty well. Alright, so this should work. Basically just get a spot. Now this part sucks though. Try to squeeze all this in there. Okay, that worked out good. Sadly, Butterfly Magic Sculpt does not have safety solvent or anything like it that I know of. And that's why I do not use it really for any of the statues for sculpting. Like, normally I would use Magic Sculpt in here, but my Magic Sculpt is getting so tough now that if I got the Magic Sculpt in there, it would just be a nightmare trying to squeeze this piece in. Fresh Magic Sculpt would work easier, but mine's gotten too old, so it's kind of a pain. So yeah, Magic Sculpt, basically these two pieces here, I had Magic Sculpt around them first because I was working on something, and then I put Aves around it because I had extra Aves the other day. I use Bondo only for like bottom of bases. I hate the smell of Bondo. It stinks up the whole damn house. It takes like 3 days to go away. So I'll use Bondo only when I can do it outside and leave the item out there all day. I'm gonna grab another item that I'm gonna do the same thing with a peg. I'll show you. Okay, so this is the Sideshow Adam Hughes Rogue. I have a character in mind. I'm gonna run it by the Patreons. It's kind of something a little bit later down the line, but I just kind of been prepping certain things here and there. But this gives you guys an idea of what I did with the rod for Superman. So you can see I bent it. So this way when it goes in the foot, it goes up the ankle and it still sits at the bottom. So I repaired this a long time ago, so there is a rod in here already, and there's a rod I think I put in here when this one broke. But I do remember that this one sort of leaned from this ankle, so I filled it in, and I'm going to put a rod in there. So these are just regular items that I have sitting around that I try to fill in, so I don't waste this material. But it should be a fun character if the Patrons kind of want to see it done. Something else I could just add into the streams. See, there's a little tiny... Is that a hole there? No, that fell off the edge. Yep, Miss Marvel was done. I posted the video, and one of the Patrons already snagged her. So I appreciate everybody that came into the streams and watched that one. It was a lot of fun. I knew that was going to happen. So thin over at this one edge because I accidentally Dremel. See, I actually Dremel through it the other day. So let's see if we can kind of squeeze this in still. Come on, get in there. See, that's the problem with drilling into an item that has cloth, because if you accidentally do that, you mess everything up. But it'll work. Yeah, it actually went pretty fast. I'm surprised, but it seemed like a lot of people enjoyed that one. Hey, what's up, fangirl? How is everything? Lifespan as in using it, or lifespan as it's sitting in the container? I'm hanging in there, fangirl. Just a busy week, but other than that, things are going pretty well. When you mix two parts together, you got about 3 hours to work with it. In the container, if you keep it in a refrigerator and you don't use it, it'll last a long time. Once you mix it together and it's on your item, it's epoxy resin, so it lasts, I guess, as long as polystone will last. I've never heard of like it deteriorating over like short amount of time. Buy a container, keep it in a refrigerator, use it when you need it. Wow, Adam, really? I only do that when nobody's watching. So now we got a rod all the way up this leg, and if we grab yeah, the secret coffee method. Sort of an inside joke that we have going, so that's not that one. Yeah, Butterfly, just keep it in the refrigerator, pull it out when you need it, you'll be fine. So once we're ready to put this in the base, at least we'll have a system where it can hopefully, it's a little too tight. I grabbed the wrong rod. The other one was in the garage. I used to leave mine in the fridge all the time, but I use it so much that by the time it's getting a little bit tough, I'm already done with the container, so. I just know that I've had a friend or two buy it from like the Jerry's art store, and when they got it, it was super tough. So that tells me that it was on the shelf way too long. So you're better off ordering it from Aves directly. At least you'll know you'll get a good batch. And if it's any issues, you can just contact them. And if you get on Aves mailing list, and you watch, you'll get like 15% off, which basically is like free shipping. Sometimes paying a little extra to go directly to the source makes life easier. That's an old thing, Adam. I don't know if that works anymore, but I know my aunt used to tell us all the time, keep the batteries in the refrigerator. As the millennials would say, it's a boomer thing, I guess. So this is what I would call a typical day, like a Wednesday when I'm patching and filling things in. I didn't do it this week, so I just kind of find random things to fill in. Like, you know, this foot. So this was the original key. So you can see there was a square key that came out about that far. So that's how far that key came out. That was holding up the whole item. That's an issue. So you have your key here, but you have no support up here. I mean, if anything, what they should have did is they should have put the square piece here, and even if it was a circle rod, put a circle rod all the way up to here. I'm not really sure what a key does for this here when you have this no meat. So I'm actually working on a Magneto fan art item with a cape. I'll put that video up when I get a chance and I finish it. And you'll see another issue where it's a great sculpt, but it was a poor design. If you want to make a stand or you want to secure it on an item, you got to do this. Basically, you can get a circle rod, and you can put a circle rod up a foot, but the problem is the item turns on you. Unless you have a square key to lock it in place. I use these square key stock rods because when you put them in a base with the hollow piece, it doesn't turn on you. So you don't need a key like this to keep it in place. That's why I use the square ones. And if you're working on a kit that doesn't have any support, you gotta support it somehow. I may be going overboard with my stuff. I kind of do, but I just don't want to put all this effort into it just because, okay, I'm going to do all this work on the item, but I'm going to skimp at this item because it's not a big deal. But over time, it makes it a big deal. So why not take an extra 20 minutes and support the item for me, or if it's something I'm working on for somebody. That's what I do, JC. I drill, everything's always at the bottom of the key. So, alright, I'll show you guys this item here. Well, alright. So, this is, I showed this Power Girl item I've been working on for myself. So, I put this key all the way up here to her leg. Because the key they had, I think, was over here. And I did that square rod, so now this goes in, and it's never going to lean or do anything. You know? So that's secured. I am working on this item for somebody where we're taking a rogue statue, and we're turning it into the Jim Lee version. So, as you can see, they had a little tiny rod up her foot that's holding this whole item. So what I did is I drumbled all the way up here as far as I could, and I have a nice square rod in here, and then I have this key here. So you can see she's supported now here. Now I wish I could have went all the way up the leg, but the problem is I don't have enough of a, I would kind of maybe destroy it, but at least it's up here now, so I can secure it better. So you can see it's all about securing your item in the beginning. No, I lined this up and I put it with A's, just like I just did with this, right? And then if you get the correct key stock and you get the correct hollow brass ride, basically this slides right into this. You know, that slides right into that. So what you do is you cut off a piece of this and you put that into the base. You gotta line it up. It's a little bit tricky, but once you line it up, you have a basic piece that keys in and out. Where, because if you just put A's and you kind of do this with A's and you pop it in and out, you destroy the A's. At least that metal rod now holds it in place. So it's all about lining everything up, getting the piece in there, cutting your piece, putting it in the base, and going from there. There you go, Hankerburn knows. I think it was just a boomers thing, maybe back in the day. But then again, what did they used to burn batteries in the fireplace back in the day? Because they said the what was it? The chemical in the batteries would clean out your ducts, but it would, of course, it was toxic as all hell. But who knew back then? So this is one of my generic bases that I make. Usually I fill them up and I buff them down whenever I have free time. So I have a couple here or there in the garage, so I'll be using this one for Superman. So what I'll do is you take this rod and you line it up and you cut a piece here. And you got to make sure how long it is from there. And then what I'll do is I'll Dremel a hole somewhere. So like you figure his foot will be back there. He's going to be standing on rock, so you figure the hole will probably be right about there. So I have to kind of like plan this out somehow. We'll probably do it on the stream when I get a chance. Where we'll put the rod in there, we'll put some rocks or glue some stuff underneath the other foot, and we'll try to line him up correctly. And then I'll have a key system for his foot. And then after that, once I get the basic key, he's lined up, we can start sculpting all the rocks and stuff. Yeah, we didn't have any of that crap back in the day. Alright, let me wash out my brushes so they're not messed up. Alright, got a little eaves left. That's about it. Yeah, that's true, Scott. Back when you saw your friends jump off of a cliff or some tree house or something, fall and get hurt, you'd be like, well, I don't do that. Lesson learned. But then again, we had natural selection back then, too. Actually, you know what? Let's pull a little bit out of here. I remember my godfather used to take me on the parkway when we would travel. He would put me on his lap in the front seat and let me steer the car. Now, I actually wasn't steering, but he used to just let me sit on his front lap. Imagine the cops seeing that today. It'd be all over YouTube. There'd be protests. Alright, this is the Superman that has those hollow eyes for the powers. So we gotta fill in the hollow eyes. I'm sure all the millennials listening to me in the chat are probably cracking up. This is too hard. Yeah, that's true, fangirl. Everything now you get sued when it's just common sense. So how many of you would rather go back to the 90s and live in that era and not deal with the internet, or do you rather stay here in this era with the internet and the way things are now? Personally, I would like to go back to the 90s. Or 80s, depending on what area you're from. Yeah, see, I would like to go back to the 90s. I love the 90s. Even though older people said children were spoiled then, blah blah blah, I still like the era. The clothes, the music, being able to actually go out somewhere and talk to somebody without them looking at you like you're crazy. You gotta text me first. Well, I think any music before the 2000s was good music. I think once auto-tune came about, it destroyed all the garage bands and all that stuff. Oh, Raz, you missed anything like the early 90s is when things really started getting good. I mean, don't get me wrong, 80s and 70s, 60s, it's all good music, but I think the 90s was awesome. Although I do miss the crazy hair from the 80s. But I do miss the style of the 90s. I love the grunge look. I wouldn't say the internet killed everything. It killed a lot, but I think social media is what killed everything. Oh, Black Jam, yeah. Alice in Chains, Faith No More. I mean, the list just goes on. That's why I gotta make a Patreon music list. All stuff like that, so when I do the Flash, we can listen to all that stuff. Yeah, Soundgarden. I love Candlebox. Candlebox is one of my favorite groups. At least their first album. But everything got commercialized, so everything went to crap. Well, Butterfly, don't forget, we also had MacGyver back in the day. I mean, the dude taught you how to make bombs in the basement. You didn't need science class, you just had MacGyver. Yeah, Glenn, I like this sculpt a lot. It's definitely gonna. I think what I need to do is spray him down with primer, but then once he's sprayed down, dab a cloth on it to give it a texture. So I give him a little bit more of that older man's look for Hyperion. I think that'll look pretty cool. So my friend gave me some feedback. So what we did is we took down the neck some. And then what it is, it's not that I have to bring the head down, I gotta build the chest and neck up. So it should look pretty cool. Hangar Bird, I learned a lot from trial and error. I learned a lot by just kind of doing it. I learned a lot of techniques of painting and tools and supplies from going to like the Wonderfest show and Jersey Fest show. All those guys are very helpful. And it's just a matter of coming up with a game plan on stuff. I've been sort of building... I've been customizing Spawn toys back in like, 2000, 2001. But just kind of like repainting them and adding stuff, and then after that I found Bowen Designs busts, and it just kept snowballing. Alright, Fangirl, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Oh yeah, Scott, you're definitely dating yourself there. Yeah, Hanger, I had a couple friends come down to my apartment back around 2008, 2009. We went to the New York Comic Con. So I bought a Medusa statue from Bowen because he was the big thing back then. And when they came back, I started breaking it up in front of them, and they were just like, "What are you doing?" But I remember I made a Power Girl off of that one. But then I sold it. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta say screw it and try. You mess up, you just keep going at it. I mess up all the time, for years. And just getting used to perfecting it, that's all. But this is looking pretty good. The bear body is not that bad. Yeah, those sea dragons were so overly customized. It might get to the point where they're very rare to find. Who knows? Yeah, JC, stuff goes wrong all the time. I've learned from many mistakes. You just can't care. I mean, I know I had a comment on a couple of my videos where people were like, "This guy thinks he's rich. He can just destroy a statue, blah blah blah." I was like, "Did you ever finish watching the video or the other videos? It's not like I'm destroying them for fun." I think it was a comment on my tearing down the cloth on the black cat statue. Just gotta kind of follow through and see what I do. Hanger, as far as statue goes, I guess it's kind of self-taught. They're really, I mean, I did go to art school, so I learned color theories, painting, photography. I majored in illustration. I have associates in illustration. And then after I graduated, computers took over, so I had to learn graphic design. But I kind of took everything I learned from there, added it into statues, and then just kept going from there. Like, if I know what I know now, I wouldn't even go to college. I would just watch YouTube videos and create. Like if I wanted to draw or sculpt, if you just watch YouTube videos and you practice and practice and practice, you could get good enough where you don't have to pay a dime for a college. Everything is out there for free. Everything I learned in art school is all over YouTube now, and it's amazing. It blows my mind. Like, I paid all that money for art school, and literally, I could just watch a 5-minute YouTube video and learn everything I learned in one semester in that video. Yeah, Hanger, I was an art student. I became a graphic designer. I worked in Manhattan. I worked for a couple companies, and then I ended up with one ad agency for 11 years. But all those 11 years, I would come home and I would work on statues. And then the day I went into work and my ex-boss says we're closing the company down and we're not looking for new work, we're done, that's when I didn't know what to do. So I just kept doing more and more statue work. I kept on taking more and more projects and commissions. And before I knew it, I said, you know what? You only live once. Let's make a career out of it. And that's what I've been doing since. But it's not something you can just do like for an hour here, an hour there. I do it all day long. So, but like I watch 2D artists that draw all day on Patreon, that, you know, Picardo, and they make a living off of just doing sketching and commissions all day long. But they work all day. So, JC, back in the day, working in Manhattan was like, that's the place to be. That's where all the artists and advertising is, but it just sucked going in and out of the city every day. But then graphic design died out anyway. Nobody does magazines or newspapers anymore. You could go on the internet now and pay a business $5 to make you a business card in like 30 seconds. Same thing with web design. You pay $30 for a template and add some pictures and you're done. So everything went to the wayside. So I just went with the hobby and ran with it. You know, I see 2D artists on like Instagram and stuff. They're banging out commissions all day long, and you know they sell them for a lot of money. And I mean, that's all you can ask for. Just draw all day long and make money. But they put time and effort into it. I mean, my professors in art school used to tell me that what I wanted to do, like pinup drawing, because I liked pinup girls, because I got into airbrushing because of Olivia DeBarnis, her pinups, and my one professor, who was like the head of the illustration department, says you'll never make any money doing that. Nobody ever makes money doing that. But you go on the internet now, look at all the artists doing pinups and making bank. It's a different world. But like I said, I used to work all day long, 8 hours a day, come home, and then work 4 or 5 hours on statues. And then on Saturday, I would go into the garage at my parents' house and I would chop and sand. And then Saturday afternoon, I would have a day off. Sunday, I would do cleaning or whatever, and then rinse and repeat. Yeah, Gloden, I mean, you know, if you go on DeviantArt and you look up artwork for, say, Wonder Woman, before you know it, you go down the rabbit hole and you're not really looking under Wonder Woman artwork anymore, you're looking under bondage. But, you know, it sells. Yeah, Hanger, that's all you could really ask for in life, you know? I mean, am I gonna retire, like, wealthy as all hell? No. But, you know, am I gonna live to 80? Who the hell knows? I'd rather make it to like 65 and look back and say at least I tried. That's all you can ask for. Lesson learned. I put 11 years into a company. I busted my ass. I did a lot of extra work with learning how to network Mac computers, built a server off of the old computers, got them off of dial-up. I got them out of sending discs to the printer. I made them save money by getting on Comcast. You know, and I did all this stuff for 11 years, and then it was just like, alright, see you later. So, you know, screw it. I mean, I do remember when I started doing this too. I used to go to the New York Comic Con and I would hand out my business cards to all the toy shops and the statue guys, and I would say, if you guys have broken items, if you have damaged items, I customize. So I did do legwork. So I didn't just sit there and say, hey, come to me. You know, you got to get out there, mix it up, show people what you're doing, and then it became word of mouth. I mean, I'm actually still hunting DeviantArt and Instagram, and I find some guys that are amazing artists that I love their style, and I contact them about commissions all the time. I can't just to see what they charge, and you know, I got a couple people doing stuff, so I'm just waiting for them to come in. I mean, Chris Delara, who comes in the chat, I found her on Instagram a while back, and I contacted her, and I got some really amazing artwork from her. So there's so many artists out there, you don't have to, you know, go with the same old Jim Lee and artists out there all the time. Yeah, that's right, Golden. You know, I did my research on the dolls because I was looking for seamstress, and the doll community is amazing. You know, I mean, there's so many doll makers out there, and they're like, they could be like anywhere from young people or even like 65-year-old women just making doll stuff for fun, and they make money off of doing it now with the internet. See, there's Chris now. You know, I mean, if you see Chris's artwork, she's amazing. And she can make a living off of doing those commissions all day long. Yeah, Hanger, what I went to art school with, I mean, I learned a lot of basics, you know, like anatomy, color theory, and that was good then, but like I say, now on the internet, you could look up a color theory video and you can learn everything in a half hour, where I had to take a class every day. But it's also experience, you know, sitting there mixing paints all day long, learning, you know, 10%, 20%, 50%, and so on. I tell my little cousins now, I mean, like, the way things are now, I mean, why go to, if you want to do a trade, if you want to do woodworking, if you want to learn painting, if you want to learn drawing, if you want to learn carpentry, anything, you go on YouTube, and if you do your work, you know, you study, and you really put the effort in, you won't have to pay a dime for college anymore. JC, I'm kind of wrapping it up pretty soon. Like I said, I was out this week, so I didn't have a lot of really chance to prep anything. So I'm just kind of show some people some of the putty stuff with sanding and give you guys a little bit of idea, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, Adam. You're gonna have to help me though. You beg for bits. So if I have to become a Twitch streamer, you're gonna have to help me out there. That's when I'll be living in the van down by the river. Alright, so what we'll do is, so what I did is I did Tamiya putty on this area here, so it's kind of hard to see it. I don't like sanding in the studio, but if you get a fresh thing of 3M sandpaper, and just sort of don't sand your detail, but sand the putty. So you can see there's a little bit of a putty primer, and then you see the A's and you see the polystone. So that's why I like to use the putty to sort of give you that nice smooth transition that you don't always get when you put A's down. So I have all this putty that's around here, that's over in here, and that'll help me give a nice little smooth transition without sanding any of this detail down. But I like to do this stuff in the garage because I hate having all this dust come down there. It adds up fast if you do it inside all the time. Now you can use this putty with water too, but I tend not to do it. I do it over the shop vac so I don't actually mess anything up. So you can, this is really nice and smooth now, but I still need to hit this area a little bit more. Kind of a sanding weird angle because I'm trying to show you guys at the same time. And like I tell people all the time, A's is softer than polystone. So A's will sand faster than polystone, and that'll start creating different grades. So you got to be kind of careful. Yep, this is the Batgirl. So the Batgirl's outfit went down to here and down, but I kind of added the skirt into the outfit. So this way I didn't have to take all these wrinkles out. We left all the wrinkles from the premium format here. We left all the wrinkles and line work over in here, and then I sculpted these wrinkles here. Yeah, if you go look at the Batgirl premium format, you'll see that there's a lot of these wrinkles already in the outfit, and I just left them there. So her hand is all set up, pretty much. So all I have to do is rework the cuff, give it maybe a little bit more wrinkles, and kind of do something a little bit there. I gotta sand down the hand a little bit because it looks too much like a glove still. So she'll be holding up a Scooby snack. But I think the shirt's fine now. I figure once I sand it down and we add the handkerchief around her, it'll hide a lot of that up there. I gotta play with the hair too. I think once we do the handkerchief and we get a lot of this done, we're gonna do a test of the hair to see how we're gonna do it. I gotta see if the ears are gonna show in any part of the hair. I gotta work out the ears. Yeah, no problem, Hanger. That's kind of the goal for Friday streams. Come in, you can see exactly what I do in real time. There's a lot I do in the garage, but I can't. I would have to get another camera and wire to do that stuff in there, and it would be a nightmare. So I try to show everybody in real time on the Friday streams. There's a lot I do during the week, but sit there and watching me sand an item for like 3 hours would be stupid on the stream. I mean, some of you might like it, but me just sitting there sanding for 3 hours is boring with the shop vac on and you can't hear anything. But Digital Man, I was hoping to try to start the Picardo stream Tuesday night, but I'm not sure if I can yet. If I do, maybe I can make an announcement on Instagram or something. I gotta see how this weekend goes first, and I gotta see if I could finish up on Tuesday during the day the flash item. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Just passing the info forward. It's kind of a couple things. I'm sharing the info. I'm showing people what I do, so if they want to commission me, they feel more comfortable in knowing what I do and how I do it. Helping other people that might want to try it on their own. And just kind of going from there. And Adam would say, if Adam would just give me more bits, we wouldn't have any issues. He knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Digital Man, if you want to sign up on my Picardo, which you might have already, and you'll get an idea. I'm thinking if I do the Picardo late night stream, it would probably be like a 7 o'clock to like whenever stream. So I just got to kind of prepare and like be able to sit there and just work at night on it. But I want to try to get that Flash statue done, so I definitely want to do some late night streams. There you go, Adam. But yeah, so like I said, it's a short stream today. I didn't have much prepared. So hopefully next week, if things go well, we can focus on a little bit more of the cuffs, the hand, and maybe start planning the scarf a little bit. Kind of see what it would look like with some silly putty. And maybe I'll have some other stuff I'm working on too. So that's where I'm going to call this stream. Thanks for stopping by, even though it wasn't much done. And we'll see what we could do next week. So you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.